Now Messiah, the Money and King, he don't give two shits. Them grown niggas, grown men, they got their babies. He don't care. Ain't got nothing to do with him. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all either. Just wanted to warm up the show before we got in on the good end and the goddamn show. How y'all doing?
Well, I guess I did get close enough. He gave me a fist bump, so
Oh, did he?
yeah. So
See,
I
I
hit him
didn't
with
even.
the, and then he walked over and gave him fist bump.
Oh, see, yeah, I didn't go nowhere near him. Yeah, I just keep my distance. But at the same time, before we get into today's show and whatnot, I want to say this: y'all gotta stop treating these celebrities and famous people like they not regular people. They still regular people, bruh. Cause they gonna die just like you gonna die. They can bleed just like you can bleed. Like they're nothing different besides their bank account. And let's be real, some of their bank account probably the same as yours. Cause some of them don't know how to save their money. Just saying. Some of them still only got maybe 15, 20 grand in their checking account. And they waiting on that next check to come on in.
Speaking of which, I seen somebody say something. It was like Dame Dash negative millions or whatever. Somebody was like, "Dang, my bank account is bigger than his."
I'm just saying, like y'all idolize these folks and y'all don't even know they making
No
bad
shot at Dame
decisions.
though.
It could be all the shots fired that they want to. What Dame gonna do? Anyway, uh, I'm just saying, like they treat these celebrities like they some top dogs or something. Like these are regular, degular people, bro. They just got some money. They got a talent. Like you got a talent too. You just need to go find it. That's just the point. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why me meeting certain celebrities have never phased me. I treat them like they regular folk. I done met quite a few celebrities, and one of them, well, he ain't a celebrity. No, he is. He's a celebrity because people know him. Because we ran into what's his name, Jamal
Mm-hmm.
Woodruff, whatever his name is.
Dude that played Biggie.
He was. Y'all probably seen the episode of one of my other podcasts when I talked about that because I literally did a movie with him in it, and I said something about, yeah, I ain't gonna go into it. You know, it is what it is. Anyway, welcome to With Your Old Ass Podcast, where my young old ass and my co-hosts bring you life discussions, difference of opinions, and hot topics. And we checking in on the mental health and the well-being of our guests when they're present. So if you allow my young old ass and my co-host here to borrow your ears for a hot second, we'll gladly appreciate it. Cause I am your host, Tay Nicole.
And I'm your co-host, Pac Manley.
And together we are
You
With
was
Your
your old
Old
ass
Ass
podcast.
Podcast. Was I have been your host, Tay Nicole.
I'm your co-host, Pac Manley.
And together we are
With your old ass podcast. I got to thinking about it. You always say my young old ass.
Mm-hmm.
So am I the old young ass? I'm sorry, it just crossed my mind.
So, okay, little backstory on where the With Your Old Ass came from. So he knows, but y'all don't know. So all my life, I've been called a young old lady. Some people don't use the term lady. Um, they just don't. I'm just being honest. But all my life I've been considered this young old individual. Because at my younger ages, I am getting up there in age, but in my younger ages, I was very ahead of the game. I was very mature for my age. All through high school, people used to call me Mama Tay, and for the young folks, because I went to a college preparatory school, so that meant eighth grade through senior. So we all went to school together. So the eighth graders, and while I'm a junior, sophomore, or whatever, they called me Grandma Tay. I didn't take no offense to it because I understood where they was coming from. I'm some years older than them, so I got it. But that's where the idea of Which Old Ass Podcast came from. I wrote down like literally, I think 8 names. I think I wrote down like eight
Mm-hmm.
names, and 4 of them got taken, and the other 4 I was battling with because they all had their own personality, but for some reason, this is the only one that really resonated with me. I wrote a bunch of them down there. Maybe next episode I can go find it and read off the list of them. But originally the podcast was going to end up unfortunately being probably just me because I didn't know if he was going to have time to do the podcast because of his hours.
Hobbies,
So
business.
yeah, he works later than I do. Um, so it was kind of nervous to put the weight on him to do the show. So originally, which old ass podcast was just based off of just me. So that's a great question that you asked that though, because at your age, you do have tendencies of a young person still. You don't really carry. I'm not trying to make it sound like you're not developed. Let me clarify that. But at your older age, you do possess some younger mentality. So like some people will say you dress young old.
Yeah.
Like your shoes will be young, shirt will probably be young, but in your pants they'll be like, that's old nigga pants right there. Them old nigga pants,
Hold
them
on,
old
my
nigga
shirt
shorts.
young. You mean they skinny?
So they might,
Yeah.
associate it with that, but that's where the idea which old ass podcast came from because originally it was supposed to just be me and a guest, basically. So you'll have maybe the first few minutes of the podcast probably just me doing the intro and then boom, a guest is on my couch type stuff. But
And I became a permanent guest.
yeah, he became the co-host. But I was kind of iffy on it because, like I said, his work schedule, and then two, I didn't want him to feel like he had to do the podcast because I wanted him to.
No, really, I'm
Because
out of here.
because originally I wasn't going to even ask him. My mom and my sister told me to ask him. They were like, "You should ask him if he." I'm like, "Mama, I'm like he works until like 11 o'clock at night. What if it's a weekend that we can't shoot or something like that?" And she's like, "I'm pretty sure he'll find time to shoot the show with you. I'm pretty sure." So, which old ass podcast was born.
All she had to do was get in touch with my agent because he got my schedule.
I've said this in the first episode. I am his agent. I don't know why he keeps saying that. He doesn't have an agent. I am his agent. He pays me. You hear that? He pays me. No, he doesn't. I'm lying. So,
My agent, my accountant, my no, I'm playing.
if I was your accountant, that'd be a whole nother ballgame. It's a lot of money that he spends that he wouldn't spend.
Yeah, need my zoom zooms and wham whams.
I wasn't talking about all that type of stuff though. It's some stuff he buys that I mean his choice. It's his money, so I don't give a damn. But if I was his accountant, I would be advising against some of his ill-gotten purchases. No, I'm just kidding. I would probably set up a better payment and a better savings plan. But also, I have one for myself, and unfortunately, it's been taking a big hit lately, thanks to people. But anyway, enough about that. Let's jump into the show. As y'all know, the beginning of the show is always the check-in. This is where we check in on not only the host but the co-host, and also, like I told you guys before, if we have a guest, we check in on the guest as well. So, with that being said, Pac, how are you feeling? How has your week been?
I'm feeling fabulous and wonderful. My week was wonderful.
That's great. I'm not gonna lie. I have not been feeling fabulous. This past week and a half, I've been feeling like chaotic boo boo. Um, not a lot of good going on here. Not that like it is, but it is. Let me clarify. It's not. It's a lot of good going on around me, but internally, not so much. It's self issues that I need to work with. It's nothing that anyone in particular has caused. It's more self issues, um, more trying to figure out how to stop the stress. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How to stop my stress. Um, but my week was a roller coaster. It was. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It was a roller coaster. It was up and down and round and around. Merry go round and round. That's how I make myself happy. I sing. But anyway, they're gonna be like, "Oh, don't do that again." Um, where you at mentally?
Mentally,
Hmm.
uh, you know, like the lyric says, minus the bullshit, I'm doing good.
He's always doing good. Y'all ever notice that?
Hey, man, you gotta, you know,
I think it's the Sagittarius in him that knows how to roll shit off his back completely. Because the Aries in me, it takes me a while to let stuff go, and I hate that. I do sometimes despise that I harbor on the things because the good person in me is fighting the wrong fight sometimes. Um,
hell, like I tell people, if it doesn't affect my life, my home, my money, my happiness,
but
hey,
all my stuff usually affects those things. And he knows that most of the stuff that I deal with affects all of that. He just has a tendency to roll his shit off his back quicker than I can. Like I'll sit here for a few months harboring on the same situation, and then I'll go 2 3 months and it's over with, and then it's back up again because something triggered me and made me think about it. Which is honestly why, for my mental health, I've decided to try to seek therapy. Um, I think it'll help with this anxiety spikes that I get because I don't know how to control them. Like I thought I did. I thought I knew how to keep myself calm. Um, for example, I was at the gym. Really shouldn't have went because I wasn't feeling good. Went to the gym, caused a massive headache on the right side, on the left side of my face. To the point where I thought I was gonna faint. So I tried to leave the gym, but as I was leaving the gym, I felt like I was about to collapse. So I called him because that's usually my saving grace is to call somebody. If I call somebody, a lot of times it'll trick my brain and make me think nothing's wrong, so I can try to focus. That didn't help. Even on the phone with him, I felt like I was about to collapse just because I couldn't. The headache was just too excruciating, but most of it was from stress. For stressing. Didn't eat and was stressing. Horrible combination. Um, but I decided after that incident, I was like, I really need to seek counsel. I need to seek therapy. Because something is triggering my anxiety to the point where it hinders me from wanting to drive because I be panicking, thinking I'm gonna have a panic attack on the road, and having a panic attack on the road is bad because you can easily swerve off and hit somebody or hit something and kill yourself. So sorry, I didn't mean to bring y'all down in the middle of the episode, but this is my advice to y'all because I'm gonna jump straight to the advice part and the steps to make myself better. The steps I'm making to make myself better is to seek therapy and to not be afraid to say I need more help than what I can give myself. You know, because I could talk to my family to the blue in the face, but a lot of them are going to listen and either ridicule or or just listen or give what they think is sound advice, but not they're not gonna a lot of times they don't know the right steps to help you take to better your situation. An outsider looking in sometimes can see the vital points that you're missing, that can maybe potentially reduce the spikes, the attacks. So for me, my advice would be if you feel like you're alone, you're not always alone. One, two, if you feel like that and you're comfortable talking to a complete stranger, go seek therapy. Um, People think that talking is a bad thing, and talking is actually not. Talking alleviates so much pressure, and I realized that because I spent a whole 3 4 hours talking to my oldest niece, and I spent about 10 15 minutes talking to her younger brothers, and it was all just to check in on them and see how they were doing. And the boys, they're young, 11 and 9, so they don't need as much time to talk because they ain't got a lot going on. The girl's 15, so the boys is like, yeah, this is that, boom, you know. But I'll get into more of that later. Go ahead, Pac. I'm sorry. How any? Oh wait, you already said you were doing good mental health.
yes, yes.
Advice.
Whew. After that,
He ain't got no advice.
I just, piggyback off of what she said. You can talk to your friends, your peers, your family, like she said, to your blue in the face, but talking to a therapist, somebody who is trained and a professional to know exactly what roads to go down and what to, I guess, say to you.
Hmm.
That is a good thing because I was having a conversation with my brother yesterday about some things, and I honestly sat back and told him was like, "Yo, I love you to death, but there's only so much I can say that I feel I can say. There's some things I can't like. I hear what you're saying, but I can't properly articulate. You know what I'm saying? How I want to go about telling you or giving you
Give me
advice.
advice.
So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Please seek out a professional, and and it is that stipulation. I want to say stipulation. To get seek therapy in the black community. We got to get rid of that. I
Oh
know.
yeah, the
Yeah.
judgmental aspect of it. Yeah,
Yeah, because
because they
was
do. Well,
we was watching something. They was like, if God can't, if you can't pray it away, you know,
Den of Kings.
yeah. So
Den of
it's
Kings. We was watching Kurt Franklin's Den of Kings with Kev on stage, Innerly Chopper, Jonathan Majors, Ray J, and
Dr.
Dr.
J
J.
Barrett
Barrett.
Barrett Barrett,
It might have
something
been
like that.
Barrett. I think it was Barrett. Sorry, we're not butchering your name because we don't remember you, sir. Um,
But hey, to go on to say, it is. If you feel that you come to that point where you do need, to seek professional help, hey, do it.
do it. Yeah.
You know,
At least that's how I feel. This episode's probably gonna be a little controversial. Might get a little. It might get emotional for some folks. It may um trigger some people. It may even hurt some people's feelings, and it might cause a big argument. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to debate. I'm here to just give you my honest perspective. He's here to give you his honest perspective. So today's episode is more of a requested episode. If you will. When I was doing or excuse me, I say I because unfortunately I do a lot of editing because once again he works. But when we were doing a lot of the promo reels for the podcast, there were so many videos that I had shot out, shorts, asking folks what episodes they want to see in full. And this one in particular is one that people wanted to see in full. So before we get into the to that section, let me pause the show real quick and once again still send out love and respect and honor to those who are still here, subscribed, that are still liking, watching the videos, even if you're only watching the shorts. Still honestly appreciate that. If you're watching the long form videos, we appreciate that as well. Everything is always highly appreciated and very much so loved in abundance. Um, I can't thank you guys enough. As I've always said on my main podcast and this one, every bit of love, every view that I get, and every view that we get on this one is always going to be received with open love. Once again, we do not tolerate any negativity. If you are a negative individual, you will get blocked. I'm making it quite clear. And you get two strikes. Your first strike is a warning. The second one, you're out of there. We keep on being disrespectful, keep being negative, keep trying to find ways to get and antagonize us. Blocked. None of that negativity is happening over here. This is a positive, safe, free zone of BS. Cool? Cool. Pac, do you have anything you want to say?
oh, she nice, she real nice. Cause I would have just gave you one strike, but
Well,
you gotta give some people the benefit of the
you gotta
doubt
give grace.
sometimes.
Gotta give grace.
Who's Grace? Why we gotta give Grace away?
I don't know. Somebody
I
told me
like Gracie Corner. No, I'm playing.
Tyler Perry told me to give him grace. Yeah. Anything you want to say?
Nah.
All right. Well, back to the show we go, and I hope y'all stick around. Peace. Just kidding. Back to the show. So, hope you guys like that quick little brief intermission. But back to the show we go. I know you're thinking, you ain't even changed clothes. How you gonna do a brief intermission in the same clothes? Because it's all shot in the same shot. We ain't got time for that. This is a regular production.
It's TV magic.
TV magic, baby. So, as y'all all know, after the check-in, we jump right on into.
Topic of discussion.
And today's topic of discussion is who takes breakups harder,
Oh
men
Lord.
or women? Or as some people like to point out, because they hate that you always say men first, women or men. I don't know why it's such a debate whether men go first and women go first. First on the alphabet, M comes before W any day. So I don't know why it's such a.
But man, open the doors and hold the doors in for the woman to go first. No, I'm playing.
I guess I don't know, man. Listen, today's topic of discussion is about who takes breakups harder, women or men, men or women, children in all ages. And when I say children, I mean God's children. Okay, or whoever you believe in. Um, so, um,
Who takes breakups harder?
first of all, before we jump into this discussion, is this a argument that you hear often?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't hear this argument as much. I see a lot of memes and kiki haha jokes about breakups between men and between women, but I don't never really hear people argue about it. But is it worth arguing over? I don't think it
No,
is.
I don't think it is.
I mean, it's something worth discussing and getting different perspectives, of course, what you guys is here for, right? Um, there's no problem with this topic. Um, oh, I thought she was looking like it is a problem.
No. Ain't no problem with this discussion. It's,
Um, breakups do affect the community. Um, like your community, for example, when a guy breaks up with a girl or a girl breaks up with a guy, their communities, um, they form a little crew and they discuss that situation. But how they go about it, that is the real question. How do they go about it? So, Pac, from a man's perspective, if you got dumped,
I ain't no man. I'm a manly. But anyway,
hilarious. Have you ever been dumped before?
yes, I have.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that
When you
one
got
time. No, play.
when you got dumped, it sounds so harsh to say it that way.
Oh, I thought you was laughing at that one time. But when I got dumped, it was so long ago.
How did it affect you,
See, I was a wee young lad.
sir?
it, it 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 affected me a lot. It made
How
me.
old were you when you first got dumped?
Whew, when I first got dumped. First got dumped.
Or the most memorable one?
I'd have to say maybe middle school.
Does that even count?
Puppy love don't count.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But even if you're a young person, you
I
still
guess. I
have
guess I
love
can't.
for a
You know
person.
what?
You
You're
still
right.
show
I can't. I
love
can't.
towards a
I can't.
person.
Because I just told my nephews this. She right. I can't negate or neglect the feelings of a young individual. You're right. You're
Because,
completely right.
regardless if you don't know what love is at that point, you still,
You had some type of feeling. Your butterflies was
you had
butterflying.
butterflies and, you that person was your world
I'm gonna
and
go on
whatnot.
record and say, Taylor Nicole has never been dumped. I've done the dumping.
But yes, I'd have to say,
I've been
I think
separated from.
I want to say middle school.
You hear me?
Yes.
I've been separated from, but I ain't never been dumped. Cause I consider dumping someone saying like, we ain't never getting back together. I don't want nothing to do with you. Blah 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 blah. And they break up and they never get back together.
Forget you and your bald head mama. No.
Yeah, like that type of stuff. That's getting
Uh,
dumped. To me, yeah, I ain't never been dumped. I've done the dumping. I'm sorry, go ahead. Was that you already said what you needed to say, didn't you? My
no,
bad.
I actually didn't.
Oh, I thought my
I
bad.
said
I
middle
got sidetracked.
school, and then you got to
See,
taking,
look, I got sidetracked. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
middle school, and I was devastated. Made me
How old were you in
feel,
middle school?
huh? Middle school was what,
13?
13 to 15?
I think so. No.
I want to say, yeah, because 2 years in middle school, seventh and eighth grade, and
No, I think it's 12.
okay, 12 to 15, 12 to 16. I don't know. It depends on when
No,
your
because
birthday
my niece is
is.
like 15 and she's a sophomore.
Okay, that like I was about to say, it depends on where your school is and how you're admitted into school.
I,
I was a little
I
bit
think so.
older than some of my classmates. My birthday is at the beginning of the school year type thing. So, Minnesota, they do things differently than current place we're at now.
Mm,
So, I had to say 13 to 15. Well, okay, 12 to 15 type deal. But can't remember what grade it was, seventh or eighth grade or whatever. Because I think it might have been eighth grade because seventh grade, yeah. But anyway, um, yeah, I was devastated. Felt less of a person, and
Damn, she made you feel less of a person.
yeah,
You
like
go kick her ass.
nah.
Okay, I was gonna go
I,
kick her
I, I
ass.
was gonna I was about to jump into some things, but I want to put people's personal business out there. She's not doing good as a person. No, but um, nah. But it was devastating. To say
Damn,
the least.
I don't have a breakup story. I mean, I do.
Oh, I have a lot. Do you got the time?
You
I'm
hear me?
playing.
I do. We'll get into that another day.
No, we
It
won't.
it really wasn't a breakup story because we
No, we
weren't
won't.
actually even,
Together.
yeah. So it's really not
So
a breakup story.
exactly, like I said, no, we won't.
But we'll get into that story eventually. Yes, we will. Why?
Huh?
Why? Because you think people gonna think you the bad guy?
Yeah, I am the good guy. I am Batman.
I'm Groot. He's Batman. I'm Groot. Um, I don't know, man. I've never been dumped, so but I can speak on pain of breaking up with someone though, because okay, without me getting too deep into my first relationship, because I will eventually go there, but not today. That's way too dark. My very first relationship, I was like 19 in college. Um, wasn't too sure about the person in the first place because our first year was like flying butterflies. Oh, the bliss, the love, flew. Our second year was like, are we in hell? It's hot down here. Who turned the goddamn heat up? That's what my second year was like. And hopefully the Negro don't see this because I know that the comments will never stop. But he'll probably try to argue this and say I didn't dump him, but I did because I didn't have a choice. He left me
Mm,
no choice.
and that
Um,
goes perfectly into the conversation. Well, with the topic of discussion too.
what?
With him thinking that you didn't dump him.
Oh yeah, he'll try to tell people that he dumped me. I didn't dump him, but like I said, when this community grows, you'll understand why I say I dumped him, and it was I'm not gonna lie, it was an emotional moment because the relief of letting someone like that go was such toxicity, such toxic masculinity. It was the the relief of leaving someone like that alone. My heart was just like happy. And like the very first thing I did when I came home is I went and bought a car. I kid you not. I went and bought a car because the car I had some bad memories in that car. So I really needed to get rid of it and get away from it. So much to the point that it had blew a head gasket, and some Hispanic Mexican guy was supposed to be working on it, right? And I don't even know what happened to the car. To this day, I don't know where that car is. I still have the title to it and everything, but I have no idea where that car is. Like I never reported it stolen. I never done nothing, but I didn't care because I just wanted to be free. And that card held some deep stuff to it. So that was that time.
Surprised you ain't do the Mojo thing and burn the title to release all the.
I don't even know where the title is. I know I
I
still
just
have it, but I don't know where it is exactly. Um, the second time I broke up with somebody, it was kind of almost a mutual breakup, but it was kind of like one of those, yeah, he knows it's over with because he got caught. So I was like, I'm not doing all that yelling. I'm not doing all that arguing. Goodbye. Have a good life, sir. Now we'll get into that situation with him a little later. Not today, because both of these Negroes got some stories. But I've only been in well, three, because of this one. But I've only been in three serious relationships, and this is the longest lasting one. My first one was 2.5 years. My second one was like a year and a half, and this one's going on five. This one is 5 years, going on six. And
going on in eternity.
to be honest, I'm weak. Oh, but of course, you date in between, and everybody I dated in between was just like, get them out of here. Flag on the play, coach. Um, so I like I said, I've never really been on the receiving end of someone being like, bye. And really, I know the first two would definitely try to lie and say they broke up with me. But baby, I got records of y'all trying to. I got one of them was actually calling me. I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he was actually calling me from his work phone and thought I didn't know it was him. I'm talking about years after we done separated. He still had my number. Don't know how. And was calling me, playing on my phone. Might I add you? Was playing on my phone. And then the first one, well, he was messaging me on Instagram, Facebook. I was like, Jesus, leave me alone. I've moved on. Jesus. And then all of it magically stopped in like 2020, 2021. And I haven't heard from him since. So hopefully they leave me alone.
I wonder why. Sorry.
Well, one of them might. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that out loud. One of them might be in jail.
Oh, that sucks. But so uh,
um,
she said she's been in three serious relationships. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on me.
we don't even need it. Well, it's an age gap between us two, though. So
It is, and
sorry, y'all. I
I don't,
took a fly trying to
I
find
don't
my
wanna.
notes. Or a gnat. I'm sorry, it was a gnat.
You know, just for the simple fact, I don't technically know. Like your first official boyfriend was at 19. Mine was a little bit more younger than that, so
Yeah, but like I said, we got an age gap, so
yeah.
you know.
Like I had a girlfriend all through high school, and we
I know it
broke
was a
up.
nature.
I want to say like last second semester of
Oh,
senior
it was a
year
nature.
type deal. So
Yeah, I mean, so reeling back into the topic of discussion of who takes breakups harder, men or women. Um, as you can kind of see, because I haven't been broken up with, I don't know the full extent of how. Actually, I kind of do, because like I said, I wasn't broken up with. So he like, you not gonna bring this up. All right, I'm not gonna necessarily bring it up, but I kind of have an idea of what it probably feels like. I don't know. You know what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Women, if we get broken up with, ghosted, or a man just, I guess those two, broken up or ghosted with women, women like me, we don't like the fact that we don't know why. That's all it is. I'm not hurt because you didn't want to stick around. Nigga, bye. Kudos. See you later. But when you ghost me and don't tell me why, that is the problem. Because I feel like you should at least tell a person why. I feel like this isn't working. I'm on a different path. You're on a different path. Cool. Got it. See you later, player. Because every Negro I broke up with, they understood why. They understood why they got the boot. The first one, he know exactly why he got the boot. And the second one, know why he got the boot. And the dude I was dating, know why he got the boot. They know. And I think it, well, for me, it made it easier to keep on pushing. They couldn't take it, but that's not my problem. I gave you your exit and the reason for your exit. What you want me to draw the map, nigga? Lead you to the treasure? Can't do that. I was the treasure. Got
But
him.
see, that goes with the topic of discussion. Who takes the breakups harder? Because
I
as
think
you,
men do.
because as you were saying, you broke up with these men, or and they continue to stalk you, or
Women are some bullies, bruh. We don't take it as hard as men think we do. Y'all be capping. Y'all be capping.
yeah, I'm
Men
not
take
gonna
it way
lie.
harder than we do.
I'm not gonna
And the
lie.
reason being is because we check out early. That's why we don't take the breakup so hard. We check out early. We already was mentally prepared to leave that relationship a long time ago. So when we break up, we'll boohoo and cry for about a week, maybe a couple days, and then we back up and ghosting like ain't nothing happened. We do this stupid, oh, I'm gonna change my hair, or I'm gonna get a new wardrobe, or I'm gonna go out here and flex on them. Don't get me wrong. There is a set of women who do take breakups harder than men. But for the overall masses, men take it harder.
Huh? And there's some men that doesn't phase them at all. As she was saying with certain type of women, there's
I don't
some
know. I
men
feel
that
like it
don't.
always phases men
I
when they get broken up with. Let me clarify.
I
When a
I,
man get
I
broken
tend
up
to
with, I feel like they take it harder.
I tend to disagree. I've seen some men get broken up with and
Keep it pushing.
keep it pushing, not phase them at all.
But
It all really depends on the person.
true.
On the person and on the person that broke up with you. Because if you really didn't feel nothing for that person, you're not gonna take it as hard. You know what I'm saying? If you was already, as you say, checked out, you're not gonna take the breakup as
I
hard.
disagree because even if you didn't feel nothing for that person, you still wasted time with that person.
Yeah,
For example, I got a ace boom cone that went through some traumatic stuff. Not as not as it was traumatic to me. It was for her. Um, she had checked out, but that breakup still hurt, and it was because of the time that was wasted. And I guess it's scenario by scenario, ain't it?
yeah. That's what I said. It all depends on the person.
I still think men take it harder though.
Yeah.
I still think men take breakups harder because men also get done the worst during a breakup too though. Ladies, don't shoot the messenger. Check it out.
Yes, facts.
Men and women get together, have child. Man and woman separate. Child stays with woman. Man has to either fight for custody or hopefully got a good BM that'll, let him get his child when he chooses to. But however, it's still up on her discretion. Second scenario. Man gets broken up. Man breaks up with woman or woman breaks up with man. He getting his shit towed up. Now this is back in the day term because in today's time, both sides doing the same shit to each other. A man get broken up with, he gonna go tear her shit up now. But this is after years of women doing it the same thing to men. So that's kind of why I say I feel like men take it harder because of all the stuff I've seen when men get broken up with or they do the breaking up. I've seen the sorry, y'all, just because I know it's him do this, so I was doing
I
it.
wasn't trying to get poked in the eye.
I wasn't gonna poke. First of all, my hands is all the way down here.
At first,
Y'all,
your hands were a little bit up here.
he is so eye sensitive. My hands could be right here, even here. I'm nowhere near your eyeball. And he still panics. But, some people say, you're in his personal space. He has no personal space. I am his personal space. I am his box, his square, his rectangle and circle, and a Rubik's Cube. Don't play with me. Anyway,
Still like to keep my eyes.
I tried to keep mine. As you can see, I had to get 4 of them. Anyway, but that's just me. Um, so let me ask you this though. Do breakups affect like a person's mental health?
Yeah, yeah, they can. Because like I said, it can make you feel like you're sure of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know I used to, what did I say earlier? Um, not devastated, but um, well, it can make you feel insecure about yourself. You know what I'm saying? What was it me? What did I do? Am I this type? You know, you get to questioning yourself and things you do and the person you are. So yes,
And that kind of falls into what I was saying, like about not knowing why a person broke up with you. That's what it'd be for me. Like, nigga, what was the reason? Like, that would be my reason. If somebody broke up with me, I would need to know why. That's it. And it sucks because sometimes you never gonna get that. So eventually you're gonna have to let it go. Or you can just beat it out of them. Um,
well dang,
just
I mean,
playing,
we
just
don't
playing.
advocate for violence around here.
I was just playing.
Just want to put that out there.
You could beat him in a foot race. See, he thinking about physical. I was talking about foot race. You can do a love and basketball. I'm playing for it. Anyway,
He won and they still got together. But anyway,
that's true. Um,
that was. I don't even want to talk.
is there a middle between who takes breakups harder? From what you describing, yes, there is a
Yeah,
middle because you feel like scenario by scenario,
yeah,
person by person. Um,
yeah. Because there's some people in this world that are just cold hearted.
this is true.
You know, and
I feel like women are
don't
worse.
they you know there's some people that are not empaths, you know, that don't have empathy and
True.
you know don't really necessarily feel. So oh, she broke up with me, well, whatever. Hey, what you doing, girl? Call the next one up, you know.
But isn't that them just deflecting their emotions?
Yeah, it is.
Because I feel like men do that more than women do. That's why I say I feel like
Mm,
men take breakups harder because we gonna get into that in a second. In difference of opinion. Um, yes, he's right though. In my opinion, he's right. There is a middle because it is case by case, scenario by scenario, person by person. Every person is different. As y'all heard him say, he's been through a breakup. I haven't really been through a full blown breakup to where I could be like,
well, now you about to bye bye. No, fine.
he be back. Anyway, um, it's just I don't know. Since I ain't been through it, I can't really say. I mean, I'm gonna just leave it alone. Let's leave it alone. Um, in a perfect world, who would you say takes breakups harder?
Hmm,
Like
good
we're using the
question.
logic of how the most general population of men take a breakup versus the most general population of women take breakups. Who would you say is take them harder, men or women?
Women.
I still stick with the men, and we're gonna get into it a difference of opinion because I want y'all to understand the opinion of why we think like we think, and it's not because he's a man that he's automatically saying women. And it's not because I'm a woman I'm automatically saying men. It's because of our lively experiences that we've been through that gives us the implications of why. And then, like I said, age gap difference. I'm looking at the people before he was born, after he was born, people of when I was born, and then after I was born. And then he's looking at probably the same thing, but from a different realm, from a different side of what he was born around and what he was raised around. Um, it's and I really can't say he's looking at after I was born though, because you probably didn't really pay attention to that. Because I really ain't paying attention to after
Eh, no.
after like the 2000s babies. Anything
Oh
after that,
yeah,
I'm
no.
not paying attention to that crap. Mainly because, like I said, it's crap. Um, because that's the generation that's now it's equal playing field of she tore up my shit, I'm gonna go tear up her shit. Now they on this equal level playing game field. And it's sad because the generations before them are now feeding into doing that type of stuff
You
now.
know what? As I think about it, I want to change my answer
Yes.
to man. Now that I really got
Oh,
to thinking about it, yes, man.
oh. Now we agreed on it. And I ain't gonna lie to you, at first I was gonna pick women, but when I really sit and kind of broke down both sides, And I looked at how I am as a woman, I looked at my mother, my sister, and I looked at my women in my family and the men in my family, and it's a lot of men and women's that I got to choose from. I just was like, nah, dudes be taking the L, bro.
And I only say that because of the way you broke it down. It was like how I was, where I was raised around, and my experiences. So yeah, I gotta go with men. Take it harder,
So
because
with that, let's jump into difference of opinion. Pack, go ahead.
um
What time is
52.
it? Bet.
So I have, it's gonna suck to say, seen more men commit suicide over a breakup than I have women.
Mm,
And
damn.
well, as she was talking, I got to it settled in my mind when she, as soon as she threw, what I was raised around and some of the people, I grew up with. Yes, I have seen way more men commit suicide or almost commit suicide over a breakup. I have yet to see, it might be different for you, might be different for her, but just my experience alone, I have yet to see a woman commit suicide over a breakup. Like I've seen them sad, get drunk, eat a tub of Ben and Jerry's type deal, stalk you, what I'm saying, flatten your tires, do whatever to your car, this, that, and the third. But as I really sit back and think about it, I don't know any women that have committed suicide over a breakup. And I know a few males that have.
Damn.
So, it's, and when it gets to that point, it's really, yes, it's very devastating when someone breaks up with you. And I don't really remember those situations and how long they was with that person, but yeah, it it should never get to that point. You know, as they
That's
say,
sad.
it's plenty more fish in the sea. You
That's a
know,
lot of fish in the sea.
just got to make sure you got that white rum. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to bring it back from, the sadness, but yeah, it now that I sit back and think about, yeah, even though I yeah, men take it a little bit more, because then and also at the same time you got to think, men kill women for breaking up with them. It's rarely, even though there's some cases, but it's rarely you see that a woman kills a man for breaking up. You see more cases of men not taking the breakup well and, you know, committing bodily harm to that person and themselves,
Hmm.
or just that person, or just themselves. So, yeah, damn, man, we're freaking emotional creatures. Jeez.
Anything else?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
What time is it?
55.
It did about 3 minutes. Ooh. Soon as he mentioned the suicide thing, this is before I get into my different opinion. It made me think of, um, and this might be before some of your time, and it might be, in between some of your time, and some of y'all might be too old to know about this. But there's this young lady. Her name was Honey Cocaine. She was a rapper. Still is a rapper, I believe. There was this young man that was in awe of her, and people to this day blamed her for him taking his own life. It was not her fault, but they blamed her. They said it was always her fault. She broke up with him. She didn't want to be with him no more, and he needed her. He was at his lowest point, and it's her fault. From what I understand, the letter he left to his family had nothing to do with her. He just felt like he was just tired of being on Earth, and her breaking up with him might have been the final straw for him. But from what he said in that letter, I don't think they were ever in a relationship. I think that they were just really good friends, and her career took off, so she wasn't as available anymore. I believe that's what really took place, but at the same time, it's just all speculation because unfortunately, the young man is no longer here. to tell his story and tell why he did what he did.
Didn't the same thing kind of happen to Monica too?
The singer,
Yeah,
I will cross the ocean for
I want to
you.
say
I
something
think
similar.
somebody, I think, yeah,
Did
maybe.
that an ex boyfriend
I
or
think so.
something like that
I think
committed
so.
suicide?
Yeah, more than likely. And it's just a sad scenario. Um, but mine won't be as, you know, saddening and dark as that one. Um, so for my difference of opinion, the reason why I picked men from uh kind of sort of taking from the gate was because with men, I kind of touched into it on the topic of discussion. With men, you got so many different aspects of what they go through mentally from losing a nurturing woman, right? So if they're a toxic individual and they lose that nurturing woman, they now have to go on a hunt for another nurturing woman who's going to put up with their toxic masculinity. If they're a good man and they lose a great woman or a toxic woman, they still have to suffer through losing that great woman, trying to find another great woman, or they have to suffer through the fact that they sat there and let a toxic woman take them through there. And I ain't talking about taking me through there. I'm talking about take them through there. And for men, is to me what I've seen out of the men I know in my family that've gone through breakups or with women that they shouldn't be with, or had kids with women they shouldn't have kids with, or even just lost good women that they shouldn't have lost because of their own immaturities. Um, Men end up taking the biggest L's behind breakups because they either lose out on time that they could have had with a good woman, which ruins them for the good woman that they come across, which in turn makes them lose the good woman because of the fucked up shit they went through with the bad one. See, with women, we learn from in most cases we try to learn, or we luck up and land on a good man after having two or three bad ones. But see, those two or three bad ones was ruined by one woman who now has sprung and broken a bunch of men, and she's running around fine. But these six men that she done dated are all broken, and now they broken more, breaking and breaking and terrorizing other women until everyone's toxic. But however, women bounce back quicker because we carry a nurturing gene in us. So we have our women to go to for help. When we go through a breakup, we have our girlfriends to call on, our mamas to call on, our sisters to call on. Here we got our daddies and our brothers to call on, and they're all going to make us feel good. You're a good woman. He was tripping. You're a queen. Lift your crown up, queen. Stand up on your 2 feet, queen. You got it, queen. Guess what? She bounced back like that. A man gets broken up with, man, get your punk ass up. What you crying for? She wasn't nothing but a skeezer anyway. It's more of them out there. Go knock a few off and you'll be happy. They don't pay attention to their heart, which is what causes them to be toxic, which is what causes them to continue to make broken homes, broken families, break themselves, and suicide. That is why men take breakups harder because they don't have anyone to lean on, to get support from, to make them feel like they're worthy of their fight. That's why y'all take it harder. We have help, y'all do not. Which is why With Your Old Ass Podcast is a safe space. It's a uplifting space. It's a community of love because too many people in this world are getting pushed to the left instead of getting pushed to the right. They're not being uplifted. They're not being given the proper love. Too many men, especially my black men, y'all get looked at weak. And the crazy thing is y'all get looked at weak by your counterparts too. Not just by your own, but by your counterparts. Let a white man see a black man in his vulnerable state. He gonna use that to his advantage. He gonna use it to his advantage.
Of course, and that's what we're taught not to.
You ain't supposed to talk during my
I'm sorry.
difference of opinion. I was about to close it out so you can't talk. Um, but that's why I pick men because y'all have it harder. Y'all can't bounce back like we can. We can bounce back. Y'all can't bounce back that fast. But what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, when you said the counterparts, because we're taught not to show emotion, not to show weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody sees that weakness, they're gonna take advantage of it.
Yep.
That's
Which is
just,
which is why it's two. Actually more than two. There's quite a few black men that I currently don't. I can't. I can't use the term idolize because I don't really idolize people. I respect people. Excuse me, my voice needs to clear out. I just respect people, and excuse me, my voice won't clear out. No.
don't mind if I do.
Um, but you got DeVale Ellis. I respect him wholeheartedly because if you haven't seen his podcast with him and his wife, it was originally called Dead Ass Podcast. Now it's called Ellis Ever After. His vulnerability on that podcast is something worth respecting. Seeing a black man feel comfortable to be in his vulnerable space with his wife and his peers is so uplifting. Kevin Fredericks, Kev on Stage, that man is very vulnerable, and honestly the vulnerability that he shows I didn't get to see until he lost his brother, and his level of vulnerability is so respected because that man literally will cry on TV if he feels the need to and don't care. He uplifts his wife and talks about how she respects him, lifts him up, and gives him what he needs. And that's the thing. They're getting that. They're getting that, so they're able to give that. And that's what y'all missing. Y'all missing being able to be given that so you can give it. You know? Um, but those are, and of course, my controversial one. People can hate me for saying this, but Tyler Perry, he's always been vulnerable. It's nothing that I have any interview I've ever seen him in. He ain't never been afraid to cry. He ain't never been afraid to keep it real. He ain't never been afraid to just be authentically Tyler Perry. People can be mad. Granted, his real name ain't Tyler. His real name ain't Tyler, but I respect why he don't go by that name. I do respect it.
What was
But
his name? Don Queese?
Emmett,
Oh, I said Don Queese. That's a hell of a name.
yeah, it is a hell of a name. Who the hell would be Don Queese?
I don't know, man.
Is that John Queese's real name? Yeah. I'm sorry. This I told you this episode was either gonna be deep or it was gonna be sad or it's gonna be
It was a little
emotional.
bit of all of it.
It was gonna be a roller coaster, man. And yeah, dude, it's just black men. I love you. I do.
I love you too.
I do.
Not that way. No, I'm playing.
I do. Anything else you want to say?
Nah,
You ain't got nothing else to say. No final thoughts.
no, hey, no,
Nothing.
can't think of that.
Well, I hope you learned something. Hope we touched your heart. We're not touching all your other parts, but we will touch your heart and hopefully your mind. We touch those two, your hearts and your mind. Hopefully, um, put your hands together in a prayer, if you will, and pray with me real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, we are calling on you today for you to touch every black man on this planet and let them know they are loved and that we are going to hold their hand. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
It was a short prayer because we got short time. God knows my heart. It's Bernie Mac would say.
Who you with? I'm
Who
sorry.
are it? I do really want to thank you guys from me to y'all for tuning in. If you got emotional, if you cried, drop the tear, share the tear, hit the like button. If you learned something, hit the like button. If you got something you want to say, put it in the comments and hit that like button.
And keep that
Um,
negativity to yourself, please.
and keep that negativity to yourself because this is a no negative zone. All right, safety, positivity, and love, baby. That's all we got, and respect. That's all we got for you. You hear me? I'm gonna leave y'all with 4 words that I gave my nephews to say to themselves when they feel down. I told them to tell themselves, I love myself. I honor myself. I respect myself. And I trust myself. I want y'all to say those 4 words every time you feel down, defeated, depleted, and mistreated. Say those 4 words and hold your crown up. Because this world don't love us unless we love ourselves. And hell, they still don't want to love us. So make sure you touch somebody and say, I love you.
I love you too. I got 4 words that if you're feeling down, you should say. It'll always cheer you up if you say these 4 words.
I got a feeling I know what they are.
I am Batman. I am
Oh,
Batman.
that's not where I thought you was going with that. We don't
What you
need.
thought I was gonna say? I am Iron Man?
No, we don't need
No,
to
I'm
worry
playing.
about where I thought you was going. But I am Groot. Um,
I am Batman.
um, but no, honestly, remember that you should love, honor, respect, and trust yourself. And that's not just for the black men, that's for our black women, that's for anyone watching this podcast. Please make sure you just always love, honor, respect, and trust yourself. Cause nobody in this world's gonna have you like you got you. Alright? Well listen, we appreciate you guys for allowing us to borrow your ears for as long as you did. We also appreciate all the love that you guys have shown us. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave us a comment, and let us know what you want us to talk about next. I have been your host, Tay Nicole.
I'm your co-host, Pac Manley,
And together we are
with
with
your
your
old
old
ass
ass podcast.
podcast. Roll credits.
Give me that. Roll the credits.
Somebody fix me a nice stiff drink. I got
Man,
a
that
little
episode was
emotional.
emotional, low key.